There exists a place no language has ever named, not because it is forgotten, but because no word has ever survived long enough to describe it. Maps blur when drawn near it. Instruments fail. Direction becomes an idea rather than a rule. This place does not hide. It simply does not acknowledge those who try to define it. The land stretches endlessly, flat yet uneven, as if shaped by a slow, patient force that never finished its work. Silence here is not absence. It expands and contracts like a living thing. It presses gently against everything that enters, testing weight, presence, intention. Even stillness has layers. Beneath it lies something deeper, a quiet vibration, a pulse too slow to hear but impossible to ignore. The surface appears smooth, but faint impressions emerge when nothing touches it. Not footprints, impressions of movement without form. They fade slowly, reluctantly, as if the ground is reluctant to forget. Sometimes the land reshapes itself subtly, not in resistance but in memory. Across the expanse stand structures that do not resemble ruins or creations. They have no doors, no openings, no symmetry. Their edges curve inward, then outward, as if shaped by pressure rather than design. They feel grown, not built. They cast shadows that do not match their form. The air carries awareness, not intelligence, awareness. It responds to attention. When observed, it becomes heavier. When ignored, it relaxes. The place does not react emotionally. It observes as a landscape might observe rain. Soft illumination appears without origin. No sun, no stars. The light drifts, changing density like fog made of glow. Sometimes it forms thin lines that trace invisible paths, then dissolves again. Beneath everything, a deep rhythm repeats. Not sound, pressure. A heartbeat too vast to belong to anything alive. Each pulse slightly alters the environment, shifting distances by fractions too small to measure. Paths form briefly, then vanish. They twist in impossible angles, sometimes folding back into themselves. Walking them feels like remembering something that never happened. Progress becomes an illusion. At the heart of the land lies a vast open area where nothing exists. No ground texture, no air movement. Even light avoids it. It feels less like emptiness and more like a pause, a moment held open. Something exists within that emptiness. Not a being, not a presence, more like a rule, a condition, a quiet certainty that something is aware without needing awareness. Time does not flow here, it pools. Moments gather, overlap, stretch thin, then collapse. Cause and effect blur. Past and future lose relevance. Only continuity remains. Remaining too long causes a strange effect. A sense of being slowly remembered by the place itself, as if the land is learning what awareness feels like by observing it. Subtle shifts begin. The air tightens. Structures lean imperceptibly inward. The rhythm beneath the ground deepens. Something is preparing, not to act but to acknowledge. For a moment, everything aligns. The land, the silence, the motion beneath it all. A realization forms, not in words, but in certainty. This place is not empty. It is waiting. Then it passes. The alignment fades. The land relaxes. The shapes return to neutrality. The silence resumes its endless watch. Nothing has changed. Everything has. The place continues, untouched, patient, aware. Not hostile, not welcoming, simply present. It does not seek visitors. It does not repel them. It only waits for awareness to brush against it again.